Is this the lady named Keisha, the one that she's gonna let watch Imani now?
I don't know. I have no idea who's watching kids. I don't know if they even got somebody to watch the kids.
So that's strange.
No idea if
So,
they actually got somebody watching kids now.
because they see, Kaylin said that they asked her and Elijah, what went on the last 3 days.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I hope Elijah told them that some other girl had the child the day before he died.
Mm-hmm.
Because that would help protect him too.
Yeah.
If he told, because the child died yesterday. So, and so what race is she? What does she look like? The lady that kept Jemani Monday.
I have no idea who the lady is. I've never seen her. It's my first time even knowing her name.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea who this lady is. Not one bit.
You don't know what race or anything she is?
I don't know this lady at all. I don't know if she's white, black, yellow, green, or blue.
Do they call her Big Sis?
Her?
Uh-huh.
Okay, now I know who we're talking about. You said Big Sis.
Yeah, that's the one. It's one lady, but I thought that she don't come around no more.
That's what I thought.
So is this who
I
babies?
know who Big Sis is.
That's
I
Shayla.
don't know her real name, but I know who she is. Yeah,
Her name's Shayla.
Shayla. Okay.
Mhm.
I know Shayla. Yeah, we met.
Right, the dark skinned cute girl.
Yep, her.
Okay.
But she was the one watching it.
Oh, Shayla was?
I don't know. I'm asking you. Is that what they said?
No, because they never told me that anybody was watching Jemani on the day before.
See, it's something missing. Something's missing.
Yeah.
That's a lie. You're lying about something.
Well, one lie is probably that Imani was in the playpen. Because, like you said, Imani smothers the child. Because you saw Imani smother Jemani how many times?
More than a few times.
More than a few times,
Right here in my
yeah.
own goddamn house. And I'm saying that in front of the judge.
Yeah, and he does it with a pillow.
Yeah.
Where is he
Give
getting
him a
these?
pillow or a blanket or whatever he gets his hands on.
Whatever he gets his hands on, yeah.
That's why they don't let me sleep together at all. They put Imani on my little cushion I have down here for my dog. They put him on there. And the baby sleeps in his little thing.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. Look, Kenny.
I'm just like, let's take another walk.
Yeah, I just hope those times add up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that medical examiner, see, he's gonna pinpoint the exact time of the child's death. And I'm talking about exact. They'll be able to say he passed away at 11 a.m. And if that police call came in 2 hours after or something like that, that'll bring up a red flag. And they'll increase those charges.
You always need to tell the truth. Just need to tell the truth. That's something I've always learned. Just tell the truth. Just telling you you're going to work your way out. Trust me.
Oh, I think he did do that to the best of his ability. Even when I was on the phone with Elijah with the police, it was different police got on the phone. I think he did. They questioned him for some hours. And I think he, to the best of his ability, it looks like he's telling the truth, but I don't know if he hid or if she's hiding the fact that the child was kept by somebody else within the past 3 days. See, that's something they need to include as well. That someone else kept the child the day before the death.
But did they actually have somebody watching the kid?
The day that he passed.
No, so the day he passed, yeah. When they called me and they asked me, I told them no.
Because they called you and asked you when? Monday?
So maybe that, yeah, Monday. It was a Monday.
Okay, and what time did they call? Do you remember?
I can actually look at it. Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, this is my phone.
And why they want to go to the beach when it's not hot out? Why the beach and it's not summer? Isn't that kind of weird?
Yeah.
Because most people don't want to.
It is fucking weird. So Monday, I got a call from them at 12:30. That was a 9-minute call. I remember that call because I was getting ready to go through some stuff and we were just talking, catching up. I got another call from them at 4:22. I missed that call. At 4:27 is when they called me and asked me if I can watch, them. I called them back. My next call to them was at 5:38 the next day.
And that was
yesterday.
It was at what time?
5:38. Yeah.
Now Elijah would have already been arrested.
See, that's the thing. Why didn't they call me? I didn't get a call from her until 11:36 last night. No, lie. I missed that call. I got a call from her at 12:44 a.m. It's when I found out the baby died.
Oh, but that's kind of weird. 12:40 a.m. That's a whole hour than when I got the first call at 2. So maybe that's why Elijah said, "Mom, did you hear?" I think at that point Elijah felt a bad vibe, and he knew that somebody else needed to talk to the police.
But the police they've already been involved all day, right?
I mean,
because I didn't get a call from her until 12:44 that night. So
you saying at night? You saying at night?
At night, at night.
Not at, and she called me at about midnight too.
So that's when I first found out about everything. I was like, what the fuck?
So that was last night.
Last night.
Okay, not in that. Okay, so basically, so take away what I said about because the 2 p.m. is when it all broke out.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was on the phone with Jennifer.
So 2 p.m. is when everything started.
Mm-hmm.
Sit down. Sit down. You're not gonna rush me. Stop. I got a husky. He's just a little too much right now. All right, yeah, boy. All right. Oh, okay. Stop it. Take your leash.
What's your husky's name, Lil Kenny?
We call him Morrow or Pops.
Pops or Morrow?
Yeah.
That's pretty.
He's a handful. He tries to be pretty.
Mm-hmm.
You get outside, you don't want to listen to nothing. You want to try something else, though. Got some treats for him, so.
Mm-hmm.
So. But let me take him out on a walk real quick, because I have not treated my baby. I want to take him out on a walk. And then I can call you back. I'll block your number so we can chat, okay?
Yeah, because I think that's why I call from the private number. Because I'm like, look, Kenny still got me blocked.
I'll give
Okay.
you a call back, okay?
Okay. So just call me back.
All right, well,
Okay. Love you, Lil Kenny. Call me back. Okay.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.
Yeah, we're just trying to thank you so much for the like in the live. That was Elijah's brother, not my biological son, of course, but that's Elijah's biological brother, Lil Kenny. You know, I did the lives. I've been keeping y'all updated. You know, if you actually watch and listen to the lives, it's kind of like a little soap opera, y'all, but a real life one. Not no fake soap operas where there's actors and actresses. This is real life, y'all. So yeah, it's real life. So it looks like the baby, you know, has passed away. Kaylin's baby has passed away from what they call sudden infant death syndrome. But we're just kind of putting some pieces together because what Lil Kenny is saying is that he was asked if he could babysit the day before the baby passed away, which of course the baby passed away yesterday, which would have been Tuesday. But there's someone that they were supposed to have babysit the baby, right? So you got to be very careful with babysitters, right? Especially for very young children because you know, I've been watching crime cases for decades and decades, y'all. And people do the weirdest things to anybody, right? Especially children. So, yeah, I just, and I hope that when they questioned Elijah, and there's no one being charged with a homicide right now. So let me just point that out. There's no homicide charge for Kaylin, Elijah, or anyone. It appears to be that the baby has passed away from sudden infant death syndrome, but they're going to be looking at more of why the baby passed away just to confirm that more. But there's someone that maybe babysit the baby the day before his death. So the thing is when detectives and police are asking questions, that would be a very important piece of information to mention. And Elijah and Kaylin could have mentioned that already to the police and detectives. I'm not going to say that they didn't, but I know if I was being questioned by police and detectives, and they said, well, what happened and what was going on with the baby the past 3 days? It's very important, very relevant, very essential to the case to mention, by the way, we let this lady babysit Monday. Okay. And babies are very sensitive, y'all. You know, with babies that are not even 9 months old, barely 6 months old, stuff like that. Babies are very sensitive to things like, okay, I'm gonna give you an example. You let a babysitter watch them and the babysitter boil the water too hot. Okay. And it's a different temperature and the baby is given the water and it's too hot. You know, it don't take much. For in my opinion, that's sudden infant death syndrome. That involves a lot of sensitivities to the baby's organs and lungs and stuff like that, because newborns, their bodies are figuring out how to function. You know, their digestive system is developing. You know, babies, when they're born, they're not fully developed. Yeah, they could be born at full term. I hope I'm explaining this right. So you could be born when you're supposed to be born at 9 months, right? But your intestinal system, that's why babies have what you call colicky. One of my daughters had that. She had colicky. She was colic. And they cry a lot because their stomachs are hurting and their digestive system is going through a very painful process of developing, right? So newborns struggle, okay? And this is why some of them don't survive it. And before they're even 6 months old, they can pass away from sudden infant death syndrome. So I'm going to assume that Elijah and Kaylin would have told the detectives and the police that there's a potential babysitter the day before. So in those kind of cases, it's best to supply as much information as possible. That way nothing backfires. You know, because they look at things kind of suspicious when you're saying so something like that is very, very important to point out to detectives and police. So young parents, they go through a lot, y'all. They go through a lot. They sure do. So just be mindful. Any little thing, take the child to the hospital and just make sure that things go the best they can, you know. That's all you could pretty much do. That's all you can really do. So do y'all got any questions? And see what I do, I'll go back and review my lives just to kind of put this case together. But I'm glad that nobody's being charged with a homicide and the baby just passed away from natural causes. Sudden infant death syndrome, y'all, is very real. And Kaylin, she asked to go stay with Lil Kenny. Y'all, I got to give him the same advice that I gave Elijah. Like I told Elijah, do not move that girl in his house. And now look, he's incarcerated, back in jail, dealing with the criminal justice system. So, you know, we got to do more to protect our males. It's no different than when ladies are dealing with domestic violence situations. Males deserve to be protected as well. So I told Lil Kenny, because I just clued y'all in on the end of the conversation, but me and Lil Kenny have been on the phone for a little while. And he called on three-way and he put, you know, I put it on mute and he talked to Kaylin and she's asking if she could stay the night at his house. And he said, no. He said, where's my little brother? You know, Lil Kenny's a gay man. He's homosexual. But he's like, where's my little brother? My little brother's in jail, right? And Lil Kenny, he's protective of his little brother. And so after we got off that phone call with Kaylin, I told Lil Kenny, I said, don't let her stay at your house. It's going to lead to eviction. She's not on your lease. You going to be in jail, seriously harmed. Anything can happen. And Lil Kenny said he doesn't trust her. He said he does not trust Kaylin. And I told him that's the correct. I'm not going to I never let her in my home as well. She's never been allowed to visit me. She's a user too as well. She's a woman. Check this out. This is when you don't help people. This is when you should not help anyone. When they are able-bodied and they have decided that they have a right to never work and they are not getting federal Social Security. Okay. And she has made a decision at 20 years old, y'all, 22 years old, because she's older than Elijah. She's made a decision not to work and to be this so-called housewife, even though she ain't legally married to anybody. And even though Elijah didn't even have a job to provide for her, and she's not a wife. So don't help people that is going to expect you to be their new welfare. Okay? Because she has made a decision that she's not going to work anywhere. So in a roundabout way, please click a like, y'all. In a roundabout way, you're bringing a burden in your house, a burden, a potential bum. She's not even interested in things like going to school, taking classes online, doing volunteer work, and stuff like that. So she's not, she's 22 years old, and she has determined that her way to make it as a white girl in America, she has determined that the way she gonna make it is through the assistance and her utilizing Black males as her supply source. Because I told y'all she's a sociopath. And that all that crying that you heard her doing, if you go watch the last lives and stuff, the couple of lives I did of the calls with her, she's faking, y'all. Yeah, a drop of it may be real, but it's at certain points in the conversations with Kaylin where when I say certain things that are triggering, she hypes up the acting on us. She's an actress. Sociopathic women are actresses. Okay, so when I'm calling her a sociopath, she's a sociopath. Don't fall for the crying shit. And don't think I'm a sociopath because I ain't crying. I'm using logic and reasoning, and I saw this bull crap coming. I knew that this was going to turn out toxic and bad. The writing was all on the wall. I'm experienced. I use logic, and I could read the play. I could read the whole situation without the cards. So you do not, once a woman tell you, or anybody tell you, like I told Lil Kenny, Elijah's brother, his biological brother, he's not my biological son, but Lil Kenny calls me mom number 2. So don't help him. You cannot bring no sociopathic female in your house. Okay? Because the male will go down when a sociopathic female comes in any male's house. It don't matter if he a psychopath, an empath, a narcissist, a normal personality, he's narcissistic. No matter what the male's personality is, once he brings a sociopathic female in his home, and they shouldn't be staying the night neither, because she is determined, this woman, white in America, and she has determined that she ain't got to work, and she's going to make other people like her welfare system, and it's Black males. Her target is Black males. My son is already incarcerated for breaking an order. He's not supposed to be around her. So she's already got one Black male, which is my own relative and son, incarcerated right now as we speak. So now she wants to go over there to the gay brother's house, Elijah's half brother. I'm only saying half brother so you will know which brother I'm talking about. And she wants to go over there because he's still a male. Look, Kenny's a homosexual male. He's a gay man. And she don't care what man she use. A sociopath does not discriminate, whether he's straight, gay, or whatever. He don't discriminate. I mean, she's not going to discriminate. She's going to use anybody. And look, Kenny, some was telling him days before Jemani passed away, some was telling him not to go over there as well. Okay. So that's how that works out. So yeah, so that's how it's working out. But sudden infant death syndrome, and to me, the environment for an infant, if their environment is not the best, it's just going to increase their risk of sudden infant death syndrome. You know, it just increases the risk because the child is under stress that it can't handle. The child can't handle stress when a child is not even 9 months old, not even 6 months old, and stuff like that. So that's all. May little Jemani rest in peace. And like I said on my other lives, September 2022, when the police officer told me, stay out of there, I stayed out of there. And come to find out, when it comes to homicidal neglect, just being in the home while a baby dying and everybody sitting around, it's a chance that everybody that's present at the house can be arrested. This is what the police officer explained to me. I'm like, wow. They treat the death of a baby like it's a drug house and people selling drugs out the house, and everybody that get caught up in there is detained and arrested. Okay, so just be careful. Be very, very careful, y'all. So I advised little Kenny, no, don't let her stay the night. He called her on three-way. He was like, where's my little brother? In jail? I don't think I'm gonna be able to help you. I have to think about it. Yeah, so he's not gonna help her. I've advised him to keep her out of his house. Kaylin has to accept that the way to make it in America is she's gonna have to get a job, or she's gonna have to find somebody. She gonna have to, if she want a man, go get her a man that actually is stable emotionally and mentally, that don't have no abusive tendencies, that actually has a full-time job. However, she doesn't have anything going for herself. She doesn't have a residence. She doesn't have a job. So she's not going to attract that kind of man, usually. So I told Kaylin when she was pregnant with the first child, I say, you on welfare. Since you're on welfare, the state will pay the whole daycare bill. Go back to school, get you a job. And you're a mother, an unmarried single mother, because that's what she is. Her being with Elijah, she's still a single mother because she's not a married mother. And she doesn't have a man that is fully stable yet. My son is too young for the responsibility. He's not going to be able to provide for Kaylin and her children. Okay? Not consistently. For one, he's not going to be able to provide for Kaylin and her children because he cannot keep himself out of jail. So for a man to be able to provide for a lady and her children, he has to be able to keep himself out of jail. And that's the part that he struggles with. So, yeah, so Kaylin's going to have to accept the fact that her system of trying to use black males ain't going to work for her. It's not working. And the way she's doing things is just going to be totally counterproductive. It just won't work. It's not a reliable system. She is not building a reliable system. It's not a reliable system. It's not. So I hope this makes sense, y'all. Please like, share, and subscribe. Tune in for more right here with the Advanced Insight channel, I appreciate you tuning in, and keep track of the lives. I talked about the sociopathic female. Now this morning you get to hear her. Well, I did other lives where you could hear her too, but I haven't done a live where you could hear her recently. So all of this is under fair use. Fair use, y'all, fair use. I found out more about the laws and stuff here and recording when you're at home versus when you're out in public, how things work when you're on a live, and I'm covered under federal law. So I will continue to update you and, of course, do other educational videos. Today, I am working on one of my restrooms in the house. I've did some work. I did like 13 hours worth of work, 13 and a half hours on my laundry room. So today I'm going to be working on a restroom, just trying to get everything tidied up. And in that restroom, you know what I did, y'all? For some of the rooms, I didn't put anything on the wall. So my restroom, the restroom I will be working on, there's nothing on the wall right now. Nothing at all, just a pure wall. I'm going to be wiping walls down. I'm going to put some little trinkets around my sink and stuff. And Daniel's going to be helping me a little bit later. And I'm loving using this washer and dryer, y'all. So yeah, so I'm just motivating y'all. Go find a room in your house to work on. Get you a big closet and clean it out. Start your YouTube channel and make that closet your studio. That can be your makeshift studio. You could make a walk-in closet like a studio. You sure can. So it's a lot of different little ideas. Sometimes when you watching YouTubers and you be like, oh, they got a cute little studio. That's the closet, y'all. That's one of them big old walk-in closets. So thank you so much for the likes. Please like, share, and subscribe. Tune in for more right here with the Advanced Insight channel. I love y'all. Bye. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the phone talk with Elijah's gay brother, Lil Kenny. I've been talking to Lil Kenny ever since he was like a preteen, y'all. Yeah, so he's hanging in there with me. On one of my lives, I told y'all we got into it. He called me, going off, but he fine today. So I went back off on him, and you just got to move on and be friends, y'all. Just move on and just be friends. Let it go, okay? Again, please like, share, and subscribe. Tune in for more right here with Advanced Insight channel. Thank you. Bye.